The government is anxiously awaiting the response of the public sector trade unions to its offer of a part cash, part bond mode of payment. Speaking to reporters on Sunday, the Prime Minister and Minister for Finance, Allen Chastanet, says much is riding on the response to the government's offer. The Cabinet of Ministers, he says, stands ready to accept a 25% cash, 75% bonds combination for the next 3 months. But he says,
but remember, it's tied to everyone accepting. So the ministers have agreed to accept 25% in cash and 75% in bonds for the 3 months. We're certainly hoping, and again, I want to reiterate, nobody's forcing the civil servants. We have gone to the civil servants as the Ministry of Finance to articulate the difficulties.
The Prime Minister admits with short-term cash in short supply, the government's finances are in dire straits. He says the offer on the table is far more favorable than it is thought to be.
So all we're asking the union workers to accept is part cash and part in bonds. We have agreed that on the bonds, that their PAYE would be applied to the bond. And also with the banks and the credit unions now agreeing to give them a moratorium, it means that some of them actually may take home a higher net cash pay than when they were getting paid and the deductions were being made.
There are some targets that the government has to meet in order to avoid the pitfall of having its credit ratings downgraded, bearing in mind all the negative implications that are associated with this.
I think that the government has attempted to put all the mechanisms in place to protect the workers, but I think it's important that they appreciate that if in fact government were to default, not only would it directly impact them, but it would also impact the country. And if we have to go to what's called a structural adjustment program, then that means that we're no longer going to be in control of our destiny.
The government is banking on surviving the next 3 months more or less intact. Beyond that time frame, it is hoping for a turnaround in the global economy that will impact St. Lucia favorably. When this turnaround will happen and how quickly are completely out of St. Lucia's control. Stanley Lucian for the HGS News Force.